first to the nearest hundreds and thousands. You must first analyze the explanation here. Learning task 1 says, we have here, round each item to the nearest hundreds and thousands. For you to round off it to the nearest hundreds and thousands, I will just correct this one. It must be thousands. Okay. It's here in our table, nearest thousands. You must determine, or you must already understand from the previous lesson the place value of a number. So in our previous lesson, we have what you called as the value, and then we have the place value. I will just use PV, place value. So if my number is 123 and 456 thousands, so this will be our decimal point read as n. So for the value of 1 here, the value of 1 is 100 because it is in the hundreds place value. The value of 2 is 20 and then the value of 3 is 3. So place value, we have here hundreds. It's because ones, tens, hundreds. Then this will be tens and then this will be the ones. Now let's proceed with our decimal number part. So here we will have the place value 4 tenths. The value of 4 is 4 tenths. And then the place value is tenths. The value of 5 is 5 hundredths, or represented by this number. And then the place value is hundredths. Be sure to double check your spelling. Learning task 1, we have here the given, and then round to the nearest hundreds, round to the nearest thousands. In rounding off, it is explained here. I will just summarize. If I have here a number of 9 and 456 thousandths, round off to the nearest tenths. You're going to identify first a number nearest to the nearest tenth. So that number is 4. The rule is just simple. You will look at the right or kanan, right of the number to be rounded off. What is the number to be rounded off? That is tenths. And that number is number 4. We're going to look at the right, and the right is number 5. Always remember, if the number on the right is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're going to retain or remain the number. Retain or remain the number, meaning to say, hindi mo siya babaguhin. But if the number on the right is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, that number will be added by 1. The number to be rounded off will be added by 1. So based on our rule, the number on the right is 5. So if that is 5, here is 5, we're going to add 1 to the number to be rounded off. So 4 will become 5. And then of course, the numbers on the left of the number to be rounded off will be copied. Always remember, it will be copied, and then the number on the right of the number will be dropped. Meaning to say, there is no need to put 0. Where your answer will be just 9 and 5 tenths. Now, let's continue. Say, for example, I have here 24 and 200, 2,346 ten thousandths. Why 10 thousandths? Because it's tenths, hundreds, thousand, 10 thousandths. 24 and 2,346 10 thousandths. Round off to the nearest hundreds. So let's determine what number is in our nearest hundreds. That number is number 3. Why 3? Because 2 is tenths, 3 is hundredths. So in our rule, look at the right of the number to be rounded off. The number on the right is number 4. Retain or rename the number. So if retain, just copy number 3. Copy all the numbers on the left. And then there is no need to put 0 here. Drop off the number because it's a decimal number. So your final answer, if that is rounded to the nearest hundreds, is 24 and 23 hundredths. Now if I want to round it off to the nearest thousands. What number is in the nearest thousands? So that number is number 4. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Look at the number on the right. So the number on the right is 6. So our rule, if that is 6, we're going to add 1 or plus 1 to the number to be rounded off. So 4 will become 5. Add 1 because the number on the right is number 6. Copy the numbers on the left. Then drop the number on the right. So your final answer is 24 and 235 thousandths. So that is for task 1. Task 2. Get the quotient of each item up to the nearest 10 thousandths place. Then round the decimals to the nearest thousandths. So there is an example in number 1. So get the quotient. So quotient pertains to the answer in division operation. It has been said that each item up to the nearest 10 thousandths. So your answer must be until 10 thousandths place. So we have here 6 tenths, hundredths, thousand, 10 thousandths is 0. So how does it happens? So we have here 45 divided by 8. Here 45 divided by 8. So let's divide. So 4 divided by 8, you can divide 8 from 4. So we will use the number 45. 45 divided by 8 is 5. So we're going to write 5 here. Be careful with the alignment. If you use 45, you will write your quotient above 45, not above 4. There is no need to put 0 here. So 5 times 8 is 40. Let's do the minus. 45 minus 40 is 5. So we have here a remaining 5. Now, the direction says you must reach to the nearest 10 thousandths place. So to do that, we will now put our decimal point here. Decimal point. And then after putting the decimal point in the quotient, the decimal point must be aligned. And then you're going to add 0. And that 0 will be bring down. So bring down 0. 50 divided by 8 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48. So we have here the difference of 2. So we must reach the nearest 10 thousandths place. So we're going to add again the 0. You bring down the 0. 20 divided by 8 is 2. Minus 16 is 4. Another 0. You bring down the 0. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Minus 40 is 0. But the direction says it must reach the 10 thousandths place. But we already have the answer of 0. We will not bring down anymore a 0. So if this is tens, hundreds, thousands, 10 thousandths, we're just going to add here a 0 for it to reach 10 thousandths place. So our quotient is 5 and 6,250. So the same with the example. And the direction says, round the decimals to the nearest thousands. What number is in the thousands? Tens, 100,000. So that is 5. So based from our rule, we're going to look at the right of the number. So right is 0. Of course, if that is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we're going to retain the number. So that is 5. Then copy the numbers on the left. So there's no need to put 0. So your final answer is 5 and 625 thousandths. Next lesson is comparison and arrangement of numbers. So comparison and arrangement. So for better understanding, I will just give you a summary of that lesson. So say for example, I have here 25 and 6/10 compared to 25 and 45 hundredths. So in comparing, you're going to use the symbols greater than, less than, or equal. Now, for you to determine which is bigger, you are going to compare the decimal numbers. But before you compare the decimal number, of course, you must going to compare the whole number. So this will be 25 and then of course 25. So both. So that is equal. But here we have the decimal point, which is bigger. Is it 45 hundredths or 6/10? This time, 6/10 is bigger. Why do you think 25 and 6/10 is bigger when compared to 25 and 45 hundredths? The strategy to do that is you're just going to compare it individually. So when you say individually, the number nearest to the decimal point, if that is bigger, of course that is bigger. Because a decimal number can have as many zeros as you want. So if I have here 6, I can put any number of zeros that I want. So if I will compare 6 by 4, of course 6 is bigger. But if I will have here 5, I have here 0. 60 is of course bigger to 45. So if I will have here 4 and 5/10 compared to 4 and 50 hundredths or 500 thousandths, this number is just equal, because as I had said, in a decimal number, you can put as many zeros as you want. Again, in comparing, just look at the number nearest to the decimal point. If I have here 20 and 64 hundredths compared to 20 and 604 thousandths, again, the number nearest to the decimal point will be compared first. Of course, the whole number first. It is equal. 6, then 6, it's the same. 4 and 0, of course, bigger, si 4. So that's why it is greater than. So that is for the lesson, comparing and arrangement of decimal numbers. In arranging, it's the same. Just look at the number nearest to the decimal point. In learning task 1, compare. So you're going to just use greater than, less than, or equal. For learning task 2, arrange the given decimal in ascending order. When you say ascending order, that is increasing, meaning to say pataas. So the direction says, arrange the given decimals in ascending order. Ascending means you are going to arrange the decimals in increasing order. You're just going to write the answer. So if you will compare, say for example in number 1, ascending order, ascending means increasing order. So you will look at first the smallest number here. So the smallest number here, as you can see, is 7/10, and so on. Now for learning task 3, solve the given problems, write your answers in your notebook. Again, you must follow the directions in the WHLP or Weekly Home Learning Plan. That's for week 2. Enjoy learning!